In the previous session, I have just completed a credit note. I've selected a credit note memo. I continued with the processing of my credit note. When we got to the preview, the default design or the default credit note design doesn't have that credit note memo on the design. So I'm now going to show you how to add it. We closed our preview screen for our credit note, and you remember, for all credit notes you have to allocate it to the original invoice, and I dragged it across from the right hand side over to the left to my invoice 7. Now I'm going to close here, and I'm going to take you to stock recall documents, and you'll see our credit note is there. If I click on preview, this was our credit note. Now I'm going to design. You'll see I've already made a little space here so that we can add fields. Let's close here. I'm going to click on our design button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll to the area I want. This is my data tree, and I now have to go to the table that contains this memo field. So I'm now going to scroll down to find my credit note memo, and it's this field over here. So I'm working with the master data table, and this is my memo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag it across. I'm going to put it over here, make it a little bit smaller. Remember, the font must be the same as the font you've got. There we go. Let's just resize it a little bit, move it up. And I need to add a little comment. So the easiest way to add a comment, have the font and the size and everything the same, is to copy and paste. Then you just bring it down. And then I'm just going to change my comment by double clicking on it and typing in here credit note and I'm going to click on OK. If we look at preview, you will now see I've added my credit note memo. All I now have to do is just resize and move up the fields a little bit so that it displays my heading correctly. Just going to move it up a little bit and increase the size there. There we go. If we go to preview, you'll see those are the two fields we've added. Then you make sure you save your report in the correct folder, whether you choose to save it in the custom report folder, which will be available for this company only, or in system reports, which will be available to all your companies. That is your choice. So I've now saved my changes. The next credit note will automatically have these fields added already. If I go to another credit note and I say preview, you will see my heading is there, but in this credit note I didn't select a memo, so the memo won't display there. And that concludes looking at how to add the credit note memo fields onto your credit note design.